Welcome you all once again to the second year of Null English online class. My dear students, yesterday we discussed a poem which puts forth the real picture of American society in the year 1920 to 30, which was composed by Langston Hughes, which puts forth the social reality through this particular poem. So, in the previous period, we discussed about Langston Hughes' life and his work, his contribution to the literature, especially of American literature that I talked. Now, we also discussed some the background of this particular poem, what kind of situation was there in America, and we also talk about the slavery system, the racism, etc. Now, without wasting time on all these things, I would like to directly deal with the poem I too. It's the textbook, as I mentioned early, that it contains only 18 lines. It's a free kind of verse. The free verse, it means that no specific rhymes is found there. It's free without having any kind of rules, the restrictions that we say. So you, I hope you might have been understood the backgrounds or the theme on which the poem is based, that is the racism. My dear students, this particular poem describes, portraits, the description, the uh, what can we say, the dividation of the people, social discrimination of the people on the basis of color, black and white. In this particular poem, black stands for African American, white stands for white people. The color stands for two opposite ideologies, that we say. Two opposite ideologies are there. And the conflict between these two ideologies, very beautifully, the Hughes has portrayed through this particular poem. I would read one by one poem and will try to explain it thoroughly. I hope you will understand it better. Now, I would read the poem to explain it. It is entitled as I too. First line, I too sing America. I stands for, remember the speaker is black Negro, who once upon a time their previous generations were as a slave in America. Now the narrator, the poet in this particular poem is telling us that he, I stands for the poet. He says that he also is a citizen of America. I am a citizen of America. I am a black member of African family. I too sing in America. Being the citizen of America, I have the right. I am also the true member of this particular country. I am a citizen. I also have a love to my country, America, and I also can sing a song of America, that is the national anthem of America. I too, because somewhere in his mind that he is recalling the previous days, that he was discriminated on the basis of color. They had not right political, social, economical, whatever it may be. Now, in this particular poem, the poet is telling that he is also a member of America, he is also a citizen of America, and he also has a true love for his nation. I love my nation by heartily. I have the same affection that the other has for America. So I also have a love and faith in America. So I also can sing a song, a national anthem of America. The next line, my students, I am the darker brother. Darker, once again, stands for black people who were slaves, who were sold on the auction, who had not any kind of right. Only the task was to work in the house, in the farm, in the shop of the white people. Now he is telling, I am the black member of African family. I am the darker brother. I am also the brother of other people, as the other people are the citizens of America. I am also the citizen of America, and I am also your brother. I consider you. Remember, you stands for not his actual that the blood relation. He's not talking about his blood relatives, brother. You stands for white people. That I am a darker, but yet I am a brother of you. That is the white people's brother. We are the same. There should not be any kind of discrimination among the white and the people. We are one and the same, and we are the citizens of our loved country, America. Though I am an African, though I am a darker, though I am a black in color, but I have the same feelings. I have the same love for my nation as the white people have. So I am not someone that we can say someone something different. I'm also brother. I'm also citizen. Though I am a darker, though I am a black in color, but there you should not doubt on my love for my nation. Now this third line. They send me to eat in the kitchen. They send me to eat in the kitchen when company comes. In order to understand the poem, you should keep in your mind that the poet, first thing, that the poet is Negro, the poet is black, and this particular black person is working as a cook in the house of, or as a servant in the house of white people. Two things are there. He is a black, darker in color, and he is servant. He is working as a in the house of white people, and he is narrating his experiences that he heard, that he observes, that he felt while working in the house of white people. This particular black servant, he is telling that poet is working as a, in this particular poem, as a servant, as a cook. And remember, in America, I would like to tell you the height of discrimination. There were two kinds of schools were there. One school for black, another for white. One bus was for black, one bus, another bus for white people. Even the toilets also, different toilets also were there. The black people would not use all these things of white people. And here, the poet who is working in the house of white people, he says that when the owner's friends and relatives would come at the home, the owner would tell him to go in the kitchen and to eat, to take the food. It means that the poet was not allowed to sit on the dining table along with the white people to have a lunch, to have a dinner, or to have a breakfast. He was not allowed it. And here the poet says that it was their hypocrisy. They would send him in the kitchen to sit separately to eat the foods. When the owner's friend, relatives would visit the house, he would send in the kitchen to have a food separately. But they never would allow him to sit along them on the dining table. Now, the next line, but I laugh, but I laugh. What does it mean? I laugh. Laughing. When we laugh, that when we are feeling happy, when we are joyful, when we are quite happy, then we laugh. What does it mean? It doesn't mean that when he was thrown away, when he was sent in the kitchen to eat separately, he felt happy or pleasure. Not like that, remember. The poet he says that I laugh because he realizes that it is the hypocrisy. It is the hypocrisy of the white people. And on the hypocrisy of the white people, the poet is laughing. How artificial they are. From that particular point, he is laughing. And he says, but I laugh and eat well and grow strong. What he would do? He would go in the kitchen, he would eat the food, and he felt that while eating food, while um, being separate, he, he felt that he grown up strongly. He ate well. He ate it, the food. Remember, there is no doubt at all. But it doesn't mean that the things had not pained him. The things pained him. The things pained his heart. He felt very sad that he was not allowed to sit among the white people or on the dining table. And here he says, but I laugh and get well and grow strong. My dear students, uh, I think first near about 8 9 lines are over there. Here, I would like to stop here. In the next period, tomorrow, we will discuss the remaining lines. I hope that you might have been understood very well. If you have any problem, any difficulty regarding the text, regarding uh, the platform that we are using to learn, the platform that we are using to conduct the classes, remember, please you contact me on my contact number. You have my contact numbers. So very frankly, you can make contact with me regarding our syllabus. Okay, in the next period, we will discuss the remaining topics. Thank you.